Hi guys, it's Jessica here again, and welcome to this edition of the Quotation Bank Revision Tutorials, designed to help you in preparation for your GCSE English Literature exams. In these videos, we take a key quotation from the text and provide a great model for how to go about analysing it and getting the most out of it in an exam, as well as providing you with the framework for an excellent revision activity you can then do on your own. In this episode, we will be looking at Shakespeare's Macbeth, following the format of our Quotation Bank study guides, where we take 25 key quotations and explore interpretations, literary techniques, analysis, and suggestions on which essays the quotations could be used in. The Quotation Bank has guides for a variety of GCSE texts available on our website, Amazon, or online, so go and have a look, as well as follow us on social media. And if you find this video useful, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe here on YouTube. Today we're exploring a line from Lennox in Act 2, Scene 3, as he arrives at Macbeth's castle on the morning after Duncan's fateful murder, with those on stage yet to discover the evil deed. However, before Macduff discovers Duncan's body, Lennox seems to foreshadow the consequences of the unnatural act of regicide that has occurred, and depicts a world seemingly in great conflict with itself. The fact chimneys were blown down depicts the physical destruction that is to come. The obscure bird clamoured the livelong night foreshadows the mental anguish that engulfs so many during the play, with strange screams of death referencing the murder of Duncan, and the accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, mimicking the political turmoil that is about to engulf Scotland. Finally, these strange screams are prophesying, with the implication of a dark, supernatural quality to the events. Yet perhaps most unnervingly of all for the audience is the impact of Macbeth's behaviour on the earth itself, and the fact that some say the earth was feverous and did shake. So what are we going to do with this quotation in our answer, and how can the Quotation Bank help you in your exams? The Quotation Bank is designed to make sure every point you make in an essay clearly fulfills the assessment objectives an examiner will be using when marking your work. So let's begin exploring this quotation by looking at interpretation. As you can see here, the interpretation of each quotation allows you to fulfill Assessment Objective 1, responding to the text and giving an informed, personal response. It's important you don't simply explain what the quotation means, but that you give your personal response to its effect on the audience. In our interpretation, we have highlighted the fact Macbeth's intentions are so unnatural that even the earth has become ill and diseased. His actions will cause unfathomable consequences throughout the natural and supernatural worlds. The play is full of unnatural occurrences and instances of the natural world seemingly sick or distorted, but most of these are directly influenced by the witches, for instance controlling the weather to fit their mood, such as with thunder, lightning, or in rain. Here the witches are not directly referenced, and the insinuation is that something so universally diabolical has happened that even the earth has been shaken to its core, with the unstable earth perhaps symbolising the unstable political situation within the play. But now we want to delve into some detailed analysis of how Shakespeare conveys this idea to the audience, and we're going to start by identifying some literary techniques. As you can see here, using subject-specific terminology correctly, in this case the literary devices used by Shakespeare, is a key part of Assessment Objective 2, and in this quotation there are Shakespeare's specific language choices, as well as use of personification and pathetic fallacy. It is really important at this stage to remember, never simply technique spot. That is, don't just identify literary devices, for example, simply stating Shakespeare has used juxtaposition. And don't suggest Shakespeare uses imagery to help us picture something clearly. When we identify a literary device, it is vital to analyse the effect of that specific example. And if you don't know what the technique is, it really doesn't matter. It is the analysis that counts. So let's get to that analysis. We have provided as much analysis as possible. It is a great idea to analyse the quotation in detail. You need to do more than just say what it means, but also what effect the language, form and structure has on the audience. For instance, in this quotation, try to bring out analysis of 4 or 5 different elements of it to really give depth to your response. As you can see, in our analysis we have precisely focused on just 1 or 2 words at a time, rather than the whole quotation in one go. So let's analyse some specific details. Firstly, the earth becomes feverous due to Macbeth's behaviour, implying sickness and illness. Macbeth is a disease, infecting the world around him. This motif of infection and disease permeates the play, emphasising the diseased nature of Macbeth's behaviour and that of the witches. Indeed, Macbeth later describes how infected be the air whereon they ride, and Lady Macbeth's doctor describes how she has an infected mind. Even Duncan's reign is described as life's fitful fever, implying that all mankind exists within some form of diseased, infected world. The earth is personified and did shake. By humanising the earth, it appears vulnerable, emphasising its instability, and in turn mimicking the fragility of kingship. The reigns of both Duncan and Macbeth are never truly stable and are both certainly shaky in nature. Indeed, there is a clear link between the earth and kingship that appears throughout the play. During his meeting with the murderers, Macbeth's fit comes again, and he wishes to be whole as the marble, founded as the rock. The steadiness and security of the earth provides a sense of safety for humanity. If even the earth, the very ground beneath our feet, has become unstable, then the audience's sense of vulnerability is heightened further. The fact that it is Macbeth, a man whose duty it is to protect the population, who is at fault, is even more worrying. Some say stresses the incomprehensibility of the events of the play. It seems impossible to clearly articulate what is happening, with some say having a tone of vagueness and uncertainty. Of course, in Jacobean England, the answers to questions of nature and the wider world would be found through God and his messenger on earth, the monarch. In Macbeth, rather than the monarch providing security, it is the witches who hold power over the world, both natural and supernatural. For an audience who would have already held fears over the presence of witches in the world, some say might suggest they fear to articulate the possibility that the feverous and shaking earth is the result of supernatural forces, witches that the audience learn can untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, or cause ships to be tempest-tossed. Whilst a feverous earth strikes fear into Lennox, it is only the beginning of the witch's actions. Now, whilst this is a useful quotation for many essays, it is important that you only use it if it is relevant to the question you have been set, and so we are going to look at which essays this quotation might provide useful in. Your answer needs to be focused to fulfill assessment objective 1. This section helps you choose relevant quotations and link them together for stronger essays. First and foremost, this quotation is useful evidence for a question on the concept of kingship. A country's stability is based on the stability of their king. Macbeth's actions may bring him the crown, but they have shaken the earth to its core. The unstable nature of his reign, as well as the prevalence of disease and illness throughout his period on the throne, both physical and mental, imply that kingship must be legitimate and follow a natural hierarchy if it is to thrive. Furthermore, the depiction of the natural world, here humanised, weak and vulnerable, conveys the influence of the supernatural elements of the play. The audience take for granted the unbreakable strength of the natural world, but just like Macbeth, the natural world is a plaything for the supernatural forces at play in the play. Be it storms, winds, or shaken earth, the natural world is at the mercy of supernatural forces who use and manipulate it as they see fit. This also provides similar evidence for interpretations around the theme of power. In Jacobean England, power was a physical, tactile concept. It rested in masculine warriors, brave kings, and strong men. Here Shakespeare presents something undeniably powerful, such as the earth, as a shaking victim. It is powerless to the true power of evil. That brings us to the end of our analysis of this quotation for today. I hope you found it useful, and if you have, do give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos from the Quotation Bank. Don't forget to check out our study guides, where we follow the revision structure you've seen today on 25 key quotations, as well as being full of essay plans, revision activities, and more. They're available from our website and other online stores, and follow us on social media. Send us a quotation and we'll try to help you out with your analysis. Thanks for listening, and good luck with the exam.